Today we're canning dog food. And so I've had my jars, my quart jars in the oven at 200 for probably now 15-20 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes to sanitize them. I love these little things. So if you ever get a chance to use these are great for pulling out canning jars. Look how easy that is. This is what my beautiful mixture looks like now. It has all kind of goodies in it for her now. I'm using quart jars instead of pint jars because if one of these will feed her for 2 days. I have 12 jars in the oven now, so that's 24 days. If I was using pints, I would need 24 pints to go into here. The problem is it doesn't hold that much. So then I have to do it again. So I'm trying to shortcut my process and make it a little easier on myself. Okay, because I have quinoa, rice, oats, and barley in here for her, I do not want to fill this jar all the way up. I'm probably only going to go just between a half and 3/4 because it is going to expand. I'll push that down in a second and see where we're at. Let me fill the rest of these up. We'll start on our next one. I was able to use all 12 jars, but I want to get these down just to see where they're at before I add the water. That's about 3/4. This is where I probably wanted to be, a little bit over half and not as far as 3/4. So before you add water, especially when you have things that expand, I forgot I also have dried pinto beans in here for her. So those are going to expand as well. So I want to make sure that these are not just going to blow out the top because too many things expanded in there and I didn't have enough room. This one was a little too full, so all I did was take some of it out and put it in one of the lower ones. So I'm pretty much happy where everything is now. So now I'm going to add boiling water to all of my jars. And what I do is I put the boiling water in here so it gets all the good stuff that's still left in the bowl. Okay, I filled them all up with hot water. And now is when I want to make sure that all the air bubbles are out. And I'm making sure there's enough room everywhere. And if my water is going to go down, because if my water is going to go down, I want to make sure to refill that back up. And I'm looking at an inch headspace. See how much it dropped when I made sure water was everywhere and there was no air bubbles. So now I'm just going to bring everything back up to the 1 inch headspace. Not all of them will do that, but any that fell below the line, fill those back up. Okay, I debubbled. I added the water back up, and now I want to make sure that the rims are all clean. So I have my bowl with my lids in it. It has water and vinegar in it. So I'm just using that as a sanitizer. Some ingredients that you will not want to use vinegar because it could seep into that product. I can't think of it right now, but whenever I'm canning that, I will make sure to tell you. Now, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little debris on the side. So you want to make sure that you're getting all of that off. You want that seal to make sure that it seals all the way around. I put my lid on and my ring, and I'm going finger tight. So lid, finger tight. I'm going to do the rest of these and I'll show you what we're going to do before we put the lid on this. If you didn't get to see my canning video series where I go over each process and things that you use, this is actually a toilet paper holder, but it holds rings really nice. So I have one for the wide mouth, and I have another one for the regular ones. Isn't that cool? Now, I've got my bottom row in here. And this one comes with 2 racks because you want to make sure that there's a rack between the bottom of this and the jars. Then I want to make sure there's another rack between the bottom and the top one. And then when I'm putting them in here, I'm offsetting them from where the jars are on the bottom. I have 6 on the bottom, 6 on the top. Even before I put the jars in here, I put 3 quarts of water in the bottom. It's going to come up temperature with these because these aren't really hot with the cold stuff that I put in the hot water. They're just kind of warm. But before I put the lid on, what I want to do is I want to put oil around my seal. That's recommended by All American to do that. I don't know if your canner does it. It's an extra step just to make sure everything seals really good. Okay. So on mine, there's a notch here that shows you this needs to line up with this when it's done. When I put it in, I'm going to set it down and it'll lock in place, and then those arrows match up. Then I'm going to go in opposite of the cranks and put those up there, but I'm not cranking them down yet. Because what I want to make sure is that the gap that's all around is even. Then I do, when I crank them, I do them opposites. Ouch. Okay, I'm going to turn this on, probably medium high. And I'm going to wait for steam to come out of here. Then I'm going to put my 10-pound pressure on it. Your pressure is based upon your altitude. I'll come back when the weight starts jiggling. From here, I'm going to count out 90 minutes. You want to make sure before you remove this that this is at 0, and that is very hot. Do you hear that? You're releasing any additional pressure that is inside there. Now you can take these off. Now I'll be able to see if I filled them too full. Look at that. They went clear to the top, so that was about the right place. And I don't see that it's up to the lid, so I think we're going to be in great shape. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, and then what I'm doing is I just have a towel close to where it's at, and I set these over here until they cool down. It's really that simple. So I'm going to be hearing popping noises from the lids being sucked down in and the pressure being good. I won't do anything with these until they cool. Usually 24 hours is pretty good. Then I'm going to remove the rings on them. I will wash them top to bottom and underneath where the rings go. And then I'll be putting them on our shelf for the dog. Pressure canning is just another ideal way to be able to stock your shelves. I went with the time limit because they don't say in any books like dog food. So I went with like what a stew would be, a beef stew. So I went with the 90 minutes on the quarts. Some of the places just said 75, but to be safe, I want to make sure everything cooked in there. Thank you for sticking around, learning how to can. Any questions on water bath or on pressure canning, just put them in the comments. I'm always willing to answer what I can, And what I can't, I'll try to find an answer for you. But I've really appreciated all of you guys saying, I'm going to try it. It looks so easy. It is really that easy. Thank you for stopping in with the Daily Dig with Debbie, and have a great day.